Uh-huh. You're clicking on that icon only, right?
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, good evening, everyone. Let's go ahead and start. Do you have any questions in the previous class? If no, then let's continue the same. Yesterday I was talking about the pages, how to create a mobile application, right? So let's go ahead and see some more examples with the same. Okay. Let's see today how to use the model. So yesterday whatever we did, that is called view. So whatever we show to the end user is called view. So today let's see some kind of models. Then we'll talk about the theory. See, if I start theory, it's difficult to visualize. Let me go ahead and explain some examples. Like yesterday we defined some of the examples, what is UI5. Then defining what is UI5 is very easy for you. What is UI5? It is a responsive application. It's a anywhere, anytime application. So previously there was GUI. Now you have front end as a UI5. Okay, so it uses CSS3 HTML5 technologies. It supports Ajax. See, everything you know now. That's how you need to proceed. Okay, so let's go ahead and see one more application. What is that? So let's say I'm creating a project. If anyone still having any doubts on this, you can follow now. File, new project. I would like to create a mobile application project. Okay, Chenna mobile app. That is the name I am giving. So whenever you are creating a mobile application, try to select sab.yum. Then remove this one. I don't want this right now. We can cover this one tomorrow. Tomorrow mentally fix for 2.5 hours or 3 hours, and Sunday also same. Okay, so click on finish. Okay, so I created a mobile application. Now let's see the requirement. So let me go ahead and show the requirement. Let me go ahead and write the requirement. This is program number 4, right? Or 4. Yeah, program number 4. So what is this program is? Create simple UI5 application. Create simple UI5 mobile application. I don't want anything in that. So how do you do? Let's see quickly. I don't want to spend time. So it's a simple mobile application. Create simple UI5 mobile application. Yesterday we have seen even complex than this one. But I would like to cover once again so that you will remember more. So now I created a mobile application project. So once I create the mobile application project, what is the next step? What is the next step? What is the next step? Okay, so you need to go to the page, script, then create page instance, or create. So inside the HTML, what you will have? You have something called app. Inside the app, what you will have? Look at the yesterday's architecture. If you look at here. So this is a HTML page. That means index.html. Inside the index.html, what you are having? App. Inside the app, you will be having page. Inside the page, you will be placing the elements or components. So therefore, I would like to create a simple UI5 mobile application. Simple UI5 mobile application with a single page. With one page. Only one page will be there. So therefore, first is what? Create a page. How do I create a page? So let me write a comment here. Okay, so what is the comment? What is the comment for this program? Simple UI5 mobile application with one page. So yesterday we have seen 2 pages also. Like that you can create n number of pages. That's not a problem. So therefore, first let me go ahead. Yesterday we have done. If you look at here, yesterday this is how I have done. Index.html, then I created an app, then I created a page and all. Now today, let's do bottom to top. That means create a page, Okay, then create an app, then attach the app to index.html. So either way is fine. So only thing is that you are going to have a strategy. That's it. Where I'm creating a new page, where page 1 is equal to new sap dot m dot page. P is cap letter. So this is called the naming standards. I think everyone knows. If you don't know naming standards, that's fine. So we can start some certification. Okay, page 1 I'm giving some ID. Okay, then what else? Inside this page, I would like to have a title. Our page should have title. So I'm putting title as, T-I-T-L-E, title as, okay, so something, welcome UEFI class -journal. This is the title I'm having. Now end this one. Okay, so I just created a page. Then I need to attach the page to what? I need to attach the page to what? I need to attach to the application. So therefore create an application where app is equal to new sap.m.app. So give some ID, or you don't need to ID. You can also write inline coding. So that means what? Yesterday coding, what you did? You created an app, then you have done so many things. Now I'm doing inline. That means I'm creating an instance for the app, then immediately I'm adding a page to app. So this is a page. I'm adding page to app. This is inline coding. Add page of which page I would like to add? Page 1. Look at here. I created an application. This application should contain page. So therefore I added the page. Now page is there, application is there. This application and page should attach to what? To your body. Body is having ID. That ID is having body is having div. That div ID is what? Content. So therefore place at content. Place at content. Okay, now put the semicolon. Now run the program and see if that works. Okay. So this is inline coding. That means you can just add all the things continuously, not like yesterday. Yesterday and today also same, but only thing is that instead of writing multiple statements, we are just combining those statements and written a single statement. That's it. So first time it is going to take some around 10 seconds or 20 seconds. Sunday mentally fixed for 4 hours because I don't know. Let's see. Four hours, yes. What happened? It's running. Okay. What happened? Tomcat is encountered some issues. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this is the reason. I know when to look for the logs, when to not look for the logs. By looking at some errors, I no need to look at the logs. I no need to look at the console. Okay, that is the reason I did not look at. I know by rerunning once again it will work. Okay, fine. Now let me come back. So look at here. So this is what I am expecting. So I created a simple UI5 mobile application page and I attached the page to this one. That's it. I don't want anything more than that. That's what my requirement is. That's what my requirement is. Okay. So the next thing is that, okay. So let me put this program in your, this one. Anyway, I am sending all these things to you immediately so that you can practice. And I am putting corresponding output also so that it will be easy for you. And I am writing the document also. Everything is fine for you. So let's say this is the fourth program. Now, let me go ahead and tell you one more requirement. Now, you are having a UI5 mobile application, right? Now, I would like to have a button here. I would like to have a button here. When I click on the button, I would like to display some message. I'm just extending the functionality. So in this page, I would like to add a button. When I click on the button, then I want some kind of alert. Let's see how do we do. So page one dot this and all. So now inside the page, so this is a page. Inside the page, you would like to have a button. If you want to put inside the page a button, so what is the stuff we need to use? Yesterday we have used. What is that? Anyone? Yesterday we have used. We have displayed something inside the page body. So that's nothing but content, exactly. So therefore, let me put this one, comma, then I'll be writing content. You guys need to start remembering content, then inside the content, what is there? I would like to have a body. Sorry, not body, button. So how do I create a button? New sab.m.button. So these are all inline coding. So yesterday we have seen separate coding, new button. So button text will be something I would like to have. Button text is hello, click me. So that is a button text. That means label. Then on press, what I need to do? On press, comma. There is a press event. So so in case of desktop applications, what is the event? Press attach. In case of mobile, what is the event? Press. You need to compare the differences also. In case of desktop, for button, what is the method or event? This is called event. Press attach. Here it is a press. On press, I'm calling a function. That function will display alert message to me. Alert. So hello, Jenna, welcome UI5. This is what the message I want. So now this is a statement, end this. Now close this one. Close this one. This one is ended here. Then this one is okay, ended here. Then I would like to have one more end for the page, then semicolon. That means we are good. Now let me go ahead and refresh it. Yeah, I got the button. So look at here. This is a mobile application. You can tune it however you want. So hello, click me. So when I click on this, I'm getting the alert. When I click on this, I'm getting the alert. So therefore, the next program is what? I'll give this notes, explanation, everything for you later. So the next program is create a mobile application with page that contains a button, and when click on button, display some message. some message. We have seen that one. Now let's go ahead and just extend these programs a little more. Okay, so we can extend these programs a little more. Look at here. Now let me take this program and put it in your exercise folder so that I can send. This is the 5th program. Okay, this is 5. New folder 6. Now let's see the next one. What is the next one? Next one is, you have a button, right? You have a button here. Can I have some image for this button attached? Yes. Please look at the next requirement, please. What I'm trying to say is that we have a button now. When I click on the button, we are getting the message, everything is fine. Now, can I attach some image for this button? That means button background or button consists a image. And the text is there, right? Text I don't want to, if you look at here, text I am typing here. I don't want to type, I want to take from somewhere else. Please start understand the requirement. We have this application, that's fine. Now when I click on this one, you will be getting some message, that is also fine. Okay, so you will be getting message, that is also fine. Now I would like to attach a icon for this, and this text I would like to take somewhere else. I don't want a hard code here. And the image also I don't want to put in my local project. I would like to get from somewhere else. What does that mean? The meaning is, let's see this. The meaning is, let's see this. So assume that someone developed, as yesterday Channa was, Keshav was talking, right? So what is that? How do we get the data from the databases? Something. Now let's say there are images, there are some text stored in the databases or stored in the backend. And you will write some control, or you will write some Java code, or you will write some gateway code, or you will write a service which will talk to the databases, which will talk to the SAP, and takes the data and return to the UI in form of JSON. Okay, please start understanding. Assume that this is your database. Okay, this is your database, or this is your SAP. SAP also internally uses database. SAP is just a layer on top of that. Okay, fine. So this is your database, this is your SAP something, and you will be writing some code here. That may be a gateway code, that may be a service, whatever it may be. Some code, XXX code. And don't worry about what kind of XXX code is that. Fine. What this code will do, what this program will do, it talks to the SAP, or it talks to the back end. Okay, it gets the data. And here you are. This is your UI. This is your UI. Forget about what kind of UI is this. Okay, this is your UI. Now, so you are going to hit this service. So what you are doing? You are hitting this service. What is the service, or what is the name of the program? XXX code. Once you return this, it will go and talk to the database and get the data and return the data in so many ways. Assume that this program is returning the data in the form of JSON. Assume that this program is returning the data in the form of JSON. Now, how do I use the data? That's the question in my program. Now I am writing UI. I am hitting this XXX code, XXX program. Once I hit the XXX program, that XXX program will go and talk to the backend and get the data and returning the data in the form of JSON. Let's see some example. https:// there is something called api.github.com/orgs/sap. Yeah, it is returning JSON. Look at here. Now you need to visualize clearly. So why I am telling all these things in the beginning? Because the reason is this is where the real coding will be there in the most of the cases. So that's what I am starting to introduce now, so that when I am discussing the theory, it will be easy for you. So what is the requirement right now? There is some backend data. There is some data in the backend. Now there is a XXX code. Here XXX code is what? SAP. So this is what? Package. If you look at here, this is called package or namespace. This is called what? Hostname. api.github.com is the hostname. In that hostname, there is a package called orgs. In that, there is a program called SAP. What this program is doing? This is talking to the backend. Forget about, I don't know what is the backend. You know, you also no need. But your aim is how to use this data in the UI. So therefore, I am hitting. If you look at here in the browser window, I am hitting this XXX code. That means I am hitting this SAP program. Once I hit this, I got the results. Now, how to use these results in the UI? So that means I am hitting this. Once I hit this, I am getting the results. And how do I use these results in the program, UI program? So therefore, so the requirement is what? Write a simple application that will have a button. Okay, when click on the button, display a message, full stop. Also, have a button created with image and some URL, have a button created with image and some URL, in bracket note, take image and URL from the external JSON. I am not putting internal. Why? Because it is developed by somebody else. If you look at here, GitHub, where I am related to the GitHub. I am not related to the GitHub. So it's an external JSON. So external JSON results I am using in my UI program. So therefore, from external JSON. Okay, so that's what my requirement is. Now look at here. So this is the JSON. This is what my program. Now come back to your program. Right now there is no image. Right now there is no URL. Now what I want is that there is an image here. If you look at here, see, look at here, avatar URL. So if you look at here, this is an image. Let me open another window and show you. If you hit that, you should be getting some image. See, look at here. This is the image. I would like to use this image as part of my button. I would like to use this image as part of my button. That means what? Here I have an image. So in front of the image, or sorry, here I have a button. In front of the button, I would like to use that image. That's fine. Then I have a text, right? Let me use text. You have so much of text. You can use whatever you want. Let's say I want to use something called, what text you want to use. So I can use this URL. You can use anything. So which one you want to use? And don't ask me to write this one. We'll see that one later. Our goal is how to use if someone is returning this kind of data. So I'm going to use this avatar URL to my button, and I'm going to use this URL as part of label. That means I'm having a button label, right? I'm having a button label. I'll be getting the image. Then this URL is going to come as a label. Okay? Fine. Now come back here. Come back to your coding. There is a JSON for you. Okay, there is a JSON for you. Look at here. There is a JSON. Now I would like to use this JSON in my program. If you want to use a JSON in your program, you need to create a JSON model. Create an instance for JSON model. See, you are hearing these words first time, that's why it may be confused, but going forward we will use very frequently. Like yesterday, when I was telling about page, it is new. But today when I am saying I would like to add something to the page, then immediately people are telling what? Content. Because yesterday you learned that. Once you learn that, it's not going to be new for you. So first time only it will be new. Fine. Create a instance of JSON model. How do I create? Where? So you can give some name. Okay. Model1 is equal to the SAP dot, there is UI dot model. SAP dot UI dot model dot, there is JSON dot JSON model. This is the method. JSON model, and what it will do? It is going to take the URL. This is the URL. This is going to take the URL, and this is the URL. So what I did here in this step, these are fixed. Whenever you want to create a JSON model or whenever you want to use a JSON in your program, it is fixed. Where model. So this is nothing but instance name is equal to SAP dot UI dot model dot JSON dot JSON model is a method that will take your URL as a parameter. That will take your URL as a parameter. So once that is done, what is the next step? What are you trying to do here? What did you do here? So you created a instance for the JSON model. Okay, you created an instance for the JSON model. That's fine. What is the next step? I need to load the data from this URL, right? I need to load the data from this URL. See, now what is happening? Model instance, JSON model instance is created. Now I need to load the data and make it available for my program. So for that, what you will do is that the next step is, okay, create a JSON instance model, and what is the next step? Okay, so the next step is I'll write the words again. So let me write the query. So where, you can create some where. Where is not required. What is I need to load the data. I need to set the data. UI dot get core dot set model. So I am setting the model. So what is the model name? Model. Sorry, this is JSON model, right? You can give some name. These are the names only. JSON model 1. I'm just giving 1 so that you will feel that okay, it is our variable. JSON model 1, comma, you can give, this is what you need to load, model. Actually variable names also will have some standards. So if you want to follow the standards, then M should be cap letter. These are the naming standards, nothing more than that, but it is good to follow the naming standards. JSON model. Then you can give some name for this. What is the name you would like to use? Okay, what is the name? What is the name you want to use? Use some name. Data. Like org data, organizational data. That's it. What this statement is doing, now let's understand. what this statement is doing. Let's understand. We created a JSON instance. We created an instance for JSON model that will take this URL, and it is going to give the data, right? If you look at here, this is giving the data. Now I need to use the data in my program. So if you want to use the data in your program, you need to set this data, whatever coming, to the core object, get core. What this is doing is that it makes available the data, whatever coming from the URL, to the entire application. That means it basically sets the scope of the data. That means where all you can use the data. If you are not giving this one, then you cannot use the data in your elements. So you have a component, right? This is a component. I would like to use the data for this component. If I want to use the data for that component, then you need to set the model to the core. Get the core and set the model to the core. What it is doing? It is helping you to make the data available. It is helping you to make the data available and accessible to the entire application. That means now in the application, wherever you want the data, you can use it. That's what the meaning. Okay, so therefore, what this step is doing? Add data to okay. So basically, what this is doing is that add data you have created to the model. So that means I'm adding the data whatever I created to the model, so that data is stored, stored, and can be used for bindings. What is the meaning of binding? So actually I'm getting this data, right? I'm getting this data. This data I need to bind to these elements. I need to bind to this component. That's what the meaning of binding. So therefore, add data you have created to the model, so that a data is stored and can be used for bindings. Binding, B-I-N-D-I-N-G-S, bindings. That's it. Only two steps. First one is create a JSON model. Create a JSON model and set the model to core, so that your data will be available in your project and you can use the data for your components. That means you can bind the data for your components. You can bind the data for your components. Now let's see how to bind it. How to bind it. Look at here. So now let me run this program. You will not see any differences. Look at here. I am running the program. I will not see any differences because right now I did not bind the stubs. So now this entire data available in my application now. So the first step, I would like to have an icon. For the button, I would like to have an icon colon, and where the icon I would like to get? I would like to get from this URL. I would like to get from this URL. Okay, so therefore icon. Okay, so you need to open the bracket, and this URL is coming from where? From the JSON. For the JSON, what is the model name? I am having arg data. So therefore arg data. Then, so if I say arg data, it is going to give all the data. From this data, which value I would like to access? I would like to access this one, avatar URL. I would like to access the value of the avatar URL. So this is a key, this is the value. This is the key, this is the value. This is the key, this is the value. So therefore, if I use this key, I would like to get corresponding value. For that, so organization data, then you need to use a greater than / avatar URL. This is the syntax. This is the syntax. Now you can have a comma at the ending because it's not a statement, it's just a property I'm trying to apply. Now let's go ahead and refresh it and see whether we are getting that icon for this button. Okay. So let's look at this one. I think we need to run the program because of the reason is okay. Some error is there. Let's look at console. Failed to load this. What is this? Maybe we need to run the program. Let's run it again. Okay. So what I will do is that I'll run this from scratch because we are not using that one. Because model everything is added, right? So I think it requires deploying again. Okay. So click on next. Click on finish. Now let's go ahead and see. If something is cached, let's see in the Firefox. Okay. Now here also it is not coming, so that means we have a challenge in our coding. Now let's go ahead and look at what is the challenging. So the first step is what? Where JSON model new SAP.UI model SAP.UI.model.json. Look at the spellings. JSON model MODEL, that's correct. Then you specify the URL. https://API GitHub. I just copied, then that's why it is correct. So we don't have any challenges. Now api.ui.getCode.setModel MODEL. Then whatever you have here, that you will assign here and give some name for that, so that you can use that name while accessing the data. Fine. And there is a semicolon. Now coming back here, now you want to use the data. If you want to use the data, what you will be doing? So where I want to add a button. Then, so open brace, what is the name? Org data, org data, then greater than / avatar URL, then end this one. Avatar URL, then end this one. Okay, that's fine. Now let's look at the text also. Let's apply the text also and see if there is any problem because something is not loading. Org data greater than /. So which text I would like to apply for the button? So I would like to apply this one, or I would like to apply HTML URL something. You can apply whatever you want. Repo something all there. There is this one. I would like to apply this one. You can apply whatever you want. That's not. Or you can also apply type. Type means it is going to give the organization. That's it. So you want me to apply the type? You can apply. So I would like to apply this one so that this will come as a label there. Now let's see. Okay. So end this one, and there will be a double quote. There will be a comma. Then there is a function. I think we are good. Now let's look at the output. Yeah. So it's coming. Nothing great there. So maybe something is cached. That's one of the thing. See, look at here. Now that's how you can read the JSON data. Now look at here. The button image is the button I attached a button. Sorry. To the button, I attached the image. After that, I am having some label. This image and label are coming from the JSON. If you look at here, this is what the image I have taken. This is what the label I am using. So this label is displayed here, and this image is displayed here. This image, avatar image, is displayed here. Now, when I click on this one, obviously you will be getting the message. When I click on this one, obviously you will be getting the message. And if you want to use something else, you can use like type. Let's say instead of HTML, use TYP. So then you will be getting what type value is what organization. So the button label is going to come as an organization. Let's see. So organization, that's it. I hope everyone understand now how to use the JSON, external JSON. So the requirement is, what is that? Can't we use, let's look at this one. What is the question? The question is, can't we use data model? Let me put that one into the notepad so that everyone can read, everyone can understand. That's correct, right, Shrikant? Okay. Can't you use the JSON model one directly instead of storing in the arg data? No. So that's what. See, you are trying to get the data. Once you get the data, you have to have that one in your program, right? So that you can able to use it. See, I am giving 2 kg of sweets to you. If I am giving 2 kg of sweets to you, you have to keep that sweet somewhere else. Then you can eat, right? You cannot just dump 2 kgs directly to your stomach. If you are able to dump, then you can try this program.
But at this
data
point,
is coming.
the JSON model contains still the data, right?
That's what. See, it is an instance. You have to store that one to the core so that, see, look at here. This is what the meaning of core. You are taking the data and you are setting to the core. That means what this core will do is that it stores the data and make it available for the entire application. Please remember that point. I'm not telling I want to use the data here itself.
No, my question is, if we just want to use there, can we use directly the JSON model? Still we can't use it?
In this program itself, yes. Let's see.
That's what my question.
Okay, let's look at here. So the same program, look at here. Still no.
Okay, so you
No,
can't use
you need to make it available to core so that you can able to use in the elements.
Okay.
Okay, so let me refresh, force refresh. You are getting it. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is that I'm getting the data. Once I get the data, I need to set to the core so that the data will be available for your application elements. So if you see here, data you are using for the button, data you are using for the button text. So if you want to make it available, then you need to set for the core. And this syntax, whatever you are having, right? This greater than, slash and all, that is because of set core. If data is available in the core object, then only you can use this syntax. Okay? Fine. Now, what is the requirement we did for this program? For this
Satya,
program,
I have one question.
Yes.
Can we have multiple models to this core?
Okay. So if I am telling everything now, what I am going to teach in next 1 hour. Okay. I answered your question, right? Who asked? Shashi, you asked?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to teach in next 1 hour. So that is my responsibility. Your responsibility is only you are attending this class. That means you are only listening mode. Okay, it is my responsibility to cover all these things. Don't worry. It is my responsibility to cover all those things. Don't worry. The next example is that one only. Okay. So in this program, what are we trying to do? So there is a button. These are all coming from the JSON. The output is when you click on this one, you will be getting the alert. That's it. So if you look at here, where is that? Yeah. Okay. So once you click on that, you will be getting the alert. So in this program, what are we trying to do? This is what we are trying to do. And this is a alert. Let me change the color of this one to something else. Okay, so that's what this program is. I hope everyone understand how to use this, all these things, blah blah blah. Okay, so let me paste that one so that it will be. I'll give you the screenshots to you, documentation, everything, so that it will be available for everyone. This is what my requirement is. So if you look at here, so that's what I have written. Create a UI5 application that with one page that contains button. When click on button, display some message. I'm displaying it. I'm displaying it. Now also button, you have a button created with image. That's what image is there with some URL or and some text with image and some text. Note: take image and text from the external JSON. From the external JSON. That's it. So therefore, if you want to use the JSON, what are the steps? If you want to use the JSON model, if you want to use the external data, external JSON data in your program, only two steps. First step is create a JSON instance model. What is the syntax? sap.ui.model.json.json model, then specify the URL. Second step is what? Make available that data, whatever you are trying to read, into your program, so that those data can be used inside your application components. For that, you are going to set the JSON model, whatever you have to the code. sap.ui.get core, you need to get the code and set the model. That's it, only two steps. Now let's look at the next program. The next program is, okay, let me go to here. Okay, so the next program is going to be something like this. Program number 5, program number 6. So if these kind of questions are very common, the one whatever Shashi asked, if I am in Amirpet, I'll tell only one answer. What is the answer I am going to tell? You can guess it, right? What is the answer I am going to tell if questions asked by the student like Shashi? You can guess. What is the answer I am going to give?
Yes, we can use.
What is that?
Yes, we can use.
No, I will not tell the answer.
Yes, we can use.
No, I will not tell the answer. I'll tell. Okay, you already paid to me. Don't think. I am thinking, and I'll cover those.
Oh.
That's the perfect answer, right? You are paid because I need to teach. So don't think. That's the answer. So that next time people will not ask the question. It's simple. And you know, right? So any professor, this is what one of the, when I was doing MTech, even I share this example to everyone. So any professor can start. Okay, so that's fine. Everyone will pay, don't worry. Everyone paid also. Let's not bring up the paid concept here. Okay, so there is one when I was attending one seminar in the IISc Bangalore when I was doing MTech. There is a professor called Harit Saab. He is from Guntur. That time he got Young Scientist Award. Young Scientist Award. So that means he was hardly having 31, 32 years, and he did a lot of research. So they were giving some memento to him by stating that okay, you are the Young Scientist Award and all. So that guy is giving some speech, and he said, any professor can strike if student ask a question. What is that question? Any professor can strike if student ask a question. What is that question? At least struck means it need not be end. It can be at least 30 seconds he may struck. At least 1 minute he can struck. What is that? What is the question? It is a simple question. If you ask that question, any professor can struck.
What you're telling is right or not?
No. Okay, I will not tell that question because you will apply on me. Okay, fine. Maybe you can ask the question at the end of this class. That means at the end of the UI5, not today's class. Then I will tell. Right? Right or wrong?
Okay.
Right. Now let's look at this one. So this is the SAP. So these are all just for fun. Don't take it serious because. So if we are like this, at least some people may not sleep. Otherwise, people may sleep. Okay. Okay. The next program is C. What is that? Sorry. What is the question? We will not apply on you, but we will try to on others. I think Sai, you attended my Java, right? I think I might have been because most of the times I give that example by end of the classes. I can understand. Okay, still I will not tell. Okay, fine. Okay, let's come back. Let me close some of the windows. Okay, now I am here. So the next program is, right now what is happening? Right now what is happening? When I click on the button, I'm just throwing an alert. Instead of alert, let me go to the new page. Did I copy this program? I did not copy, I think. Let me copy this. Copy and put it in where? In the 6th. Name this as a 6th. And let's go ahead and new 7th program. I think I need to remove the title. Title is not looking good. So this title is not good, right? Not accurate. Okay, that's fine. What is happening right now? Right now, what is happening? Look at here. When I click on the button, I am throwing an alert. Instead of throwing an alert, let me go to the new page. So the next program is when I click on the button, I need to go to the new page. So how do I go to the new page? Yesterday we already seen. Let's continue that one again. This page, everything is fine. Now I would like to create one more page. I would like to create one more page where page 2, page 1 is there. Now page 2, I would like to create a one more page, sap.m.page, and give some ID for it, page 2, comma, give some title. What is the title you would like to have? TITLE. Okay, so you are in second page. welcome. You are in second page, welcome. Then, so in this page, I would like to have something. So therefore, so in the content page, so I would like to give some title. So my up key is not working properly. Okay, so there will be title. So Dana, you are not making any noise nowadays. What happened? You are there in the classes or not?
Yeah, I am there, Chana.
Okay. So just make some noise so that I feel that okay, you are there in the classes. Okay. So title. Sorry. For title, we don't need to give all these things. It's there directly inside the double quotes. Title is what? What is the title you can give? Title we already given, right? Title we already given here. So it's nothing. So let me put heat it in the next line so that it will be easy. So hit it into the next line. Page, comma, title. Sorry. Title. So let me remove this one. So title is over. Page 2. Then title is over. Then what else we can have? So navigation button true. What is that meaning? So yesterday we have seen this. What is this? So nav button true. Yesterday we have seen. What is that? Okay. Fine.
Browser back button.
Yes, absolutely. I would like to apply the back button. So nav button tap. So that means when you tap on that, what do you need to do? You need to go back. So therefore function. So how do I go back? App.back. Now see this. Let's run this program. Now I'm running the program. Look, some errors. What is that? Maybe I did not end. Yeah, ending is not proper. So let's look at where are the endings. Page 2. So this is the application. Okay, so here is the ending for that, and here is the ending for that, and put a semicolon so that page 2 is ready. Okay. Now you don't see all these things. Unexpected token again. Let's refresh. Strong refresh. Okay.
It should be
So
comma after title.
Okay.
After nav true. No, next one.
Okay.
Next one.
Show
now button.
Yes.
Show now button.
And also we need to add the
Okay.
page to
Okay.
the.
That's the reason. That is what I want to cover. Okay. So just look at once again. Page 2 new sap.new.page. So page 2, that's correct. Title. This syntax is correct. Next nav button. So nav button true. That is also correct. Nav button tap. So tap means you are pressing. Unpressing, you are going back. That's fine. Now let's come back here and run the program. Still unexpected token. What is that? So this is ended here. Okay. So this is ended here. This is ended here, and this is ended here, and this is ended here. Where is it? Yeah.
Function spelling.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. So you can look at that. That color will change. So you can also notify that one. Okay. So if I am writing correctly, then it will give that way. Yeah. Now I got it. So it is external JSON. That's why you see some delay to get the data. That's fine. Okay. Now when I click on this, still I am getting the alert only. The meaning is what? I did on click. I did not attach the page. Page is available. Second page is available. But when I click on this, I did not specify that I need to go to that page. So let's specify that. So where do we specify? So in this function, instead of alert, what you will do? How do you go to the next page? Yesterday we have seen.
Go to.
So app.to is the function. App.to. Then which one I would like to go? Page 2. PAGE page 2. Okay, now let's run this program now. So instead of alerts, I'll be going to the second page now. Still it is coming. Maybe I need to do the force refresh. Okay, now let's see this. Okay, so still I'm not going. Why the reason? The reason is I have not added the page to. This one is fine. I did not add the page to this one application. So therefore, add page 2 dot this one. Now page 2 is also added. Now you are good. Okay. Now look at here. I'm going to the second page. Go back. Click on here. I'm going to the second page. So what did we do here? So we created a second page, and we specified when click on the first button, go to the second page, and make sure you add the page to application. Then only it will be available. If it is not there, then you are not added the page to application. That's why you are not able to navigate. Now everything is working fine. If you look at here now, if you hit this one, you are in the first page. When you click on this, you are going to the second page. This button is coming because of I specified navigation true. If I remove this, you will not have. If I remove this, you will not have. Look at here. Okay. Now I go here. There is no button. So this is one more advantage with the UI5. If you look at here, if SAP has given a freedom to create your own back button, the problem is you will create however you want. So their user experience is missing. That's why they have given a functionality like this. If you want a back button, just use my property. I will provide for you. You don't need anything. So back button generally it will be like this only. This is another advantage. Look at here, and we'll see so many things in coming days why UI5 is becoming that much of famous. Because see, in other cases, we don't have this kind of functionalities. See, but still we can achieve the functionality. If you are writing a code to provide the back button, what you will do? You will write your own colors, you will write your own icons, these and all. If you are developing like that, then there is no universal standard. So to give universal standard, they just given nav show button or show nav button true. So it's giving the navigation button, back button. And if I remove this one, what happens? You will not go back. That's it. Okay. See, I am the second page, but back. What happened? It's working. Maybe I need to do a force refresh. See, I'm not going back. So to go back, so we are specifying button. There is a nav button tab. So in the mobile technology, we call that terminology click as tab. Just remember. In the mobile technology, instead of click, we use the term called tab. So that's what people ask the question. Even when we were doing a project, we use the terminology in the metrics, right? We says reduce number of clicks from 6 to 1. So whenever we develop a project, they will ask ROI and what is the advantage, what is the benefits and all, right? So we have a term called, we have a statement called reduce number of clicks from 6 to 1 tab. 6 clicks to 1 tab. Then that senior management always asks, what is the difference between click and tab? Okay, so maybe you will also have such kind of steps in your, if you do it real time. In the mobile terminology, we call it as tab. In the desktop terminology, in the old terminology, it is a click. And remember this, the other one is tap is the smarter than the click. Okay, so click mostly used for the desktops, tap is for the mobiles, and tap is the smarter and lightweight than the click. Click is the heavy. So that's how you can convey to your top management if at all they ask. That's fine. Now come back. So now we are good. So this is another program. Now let's see one more thing. So let me put this one into the requirement. So this is what one program. This is what initial results. Now when I click on the button, I am going to the second page. Very good. When I click on this, I am going to the second page. Yesterday also we have seen this, but I would like to extend this one more with whatever questions she asked. And what are we trying to do here? When someone clicks on this one, go to the second page. So by looking at least this requirement, you should be able to understand after opening my notes 100 days. So that generally people will not open immediately, right? After 100 days, even if you open my notes, it should be clear for you. If not, then I don't know how to teach. Okay, sixth program is this one. So in the sixth program, what are we doing? These are all we are doing. So I'll write the notes and all later. So this program title and all I'll write later because I don't want to spend the time. So program 7. What is program 7? So let me, okay. So let me save this one. So this is what the program number 7, right? 6 already we have done, right? Which program is it? 6 or 7? Yeah, I think it is 7. So let me copy this one in the 7. So this is going to be output. Okay, that's fine. Now let me close this. And let me copy and put the program there so that you can practice well. Copy. And put the program, sorry. What happened? Put the program here and rename it as 7. That's fine. Now let me go ahead and write one more program called 8. So what this program will do is, assume that we have more than one JSON model, how to handle. Assume that we have more than one JSON model, how to handle. Okay. Now look at here. Let's see the current output. What is the current output? So when I run this program, I am getting these results. So the JSON looks very slow. That's fine. Let me do a force refresh. Yeah, I got the data. Look at here. When I click, so the SAP icon, the organization is coming from one JSON. That JSON is this one. That JSON is this one. What happened? Okay, that JSON is this one. Assume that I have one more JSON. Let me show you. Let me show the data first. So it is available where? http:// in the GitHub only it is available. github.com/orgs/SAP, and under that there is something called REPOS, repos. There is a data. Yeah, there is a vast amount of JSON data. You can use it if you want. And how do you understand this one? There are online JSON editors. So you can use those online JSON editor or editor JSON online. So if you put there, yeah, let me put the JSON. and format it so that I can see the data clearly. Now if I click on this one, I see the data. How to create this kind of JSON and all, we'll see after this program. Okay, so if you want to understand JSON well, then use some online JSON editors. If you want to understand JSON well, then use online JSON editors. Then parse it, so it will give clearly what is there in the array of 0, array of 1, array of 2. That means it is having. If you look at this chota one, right, you will understand more. So you don't know what it is. If you want to understand this, put it here and parse it. So look at here. So these are the things. So there is an object. That object is having 22 fields. In the JSON, everything is a key value. These are the values. Okay. So we'll see that one again. Okay. Now the goal is we have another JSON which is giving this information. I would like to construct the first page. With this JSON, and we already did. Now, when I click on this one, I am going to the second page. In the second page, I would like to display these names. This is one set. Come back here. This is another set and all. So you can see very well this one. The online JSON editor, whatever we had just now. Okay, so you need to start visualizing these JSONs, all these things. If not, no problem. By visiting couple of times, you will understand what is happening. If there are 30 objects, array of objects. First object, what is there? There is a name. I would like to use this one. In the second object also, there is a name. In the third object also, there is a name. These names I would like to take and display in the next page. That means here. That's what my requirement is. So you understand the requirement, right? So I will be having two pages. In the first page, I will be using the data from the first JSON. In the second page, I will be using the data from the second JSON. And the first page we already completed. So if you look at here, the first page already come. Now second page. So let me go ahead and create one more JSON model, where JSON model 2 is equal to new sap.ui.model.json model of, what is the URL? The URL is this one. Okay, and put that semicolon at the end. Okay, so now you are loading the data. Once you load the data, then you need to set to core ui.getCore dot set model dot, what is the name? JSON model 2 comma. You can specify something. Let's say this is data 1. Let's say this is data 2. So then you are having this name as data 1. I'm just changing the label's name so that it will be easy for us. This is data 1. Now everything is fine. You don't have any issues. Now only thing is that second page. So when I go to the second page, let me refresh. Okay, when I go to the second page, I don't see the results coming from the second JSON. Now, so I just created a second JSON model or model for the second JSON, and I set to the core. That means the data, whatever coming from the JSON, is available for my application. Now, only thing is that I need to apply that data. I need to bind the data to my elements. Now, how do I do? In the second page, I want. So, in the second page, how do we construct? So, in the second page, I would like to display all the. Names, right? So, let me take a variable called list. So, new sap.m.list. So I'm passing the data. Okay, list. I just created a list variable. Inside the list, look at here. So here there is a huge amount of data. From this data, which one I would like to take? I would like to take only the names. From the first object, name. See, in this is how you need to visualize. Assume that I am maintaining the data for this class student's information. Student 1. So that's nothing but Supreet. He is having name, that, these and all, length, height and all. Student number 2, Siva. He is having name, length, height and all. Student number 3, Sesi. Name is Sesi and he is having ID, name, length and all. Like that JSON is there. Now I would like to use only names. I don't want to use all the data. So that means you need to take the names from this JSON and put it in a variable called a list. Why I am putting in the list? Why I am not taking simply a variable? So what is the difference between list and variable? A variable can hold a single value. If you look at here there is a value. In the object 1 there is another value. In the object 2 there is another value. So that means you have multiple values. To hold multiple values, you need to go for the linked list or you need to go for the list like that. A variable can hold a single value. If you want to hold more than one value, obviously you need to go for the list. In case of C language, you need to go for the linked list. Or you need to go for the arrays. That's fine. Now let's not touch that one. So that's why I'm taking a list. Now I need to go to each object and take the name. I need to go to each object and take the name. That means I need to visit the Supreet object and take the name. I need to visit the next object, that's nothing but the Sesi, and take the name. I need to go to the next object, that's nothing but the Supreet or Venu, and take the name and all. And put it in the list. How do I do? So that's nothing but list dot. In the list, I need to keep all the names. So therefore, there is something called bind items. So inside the list, there is a method called bind items. You can look at the help if you want. SAP help, sorry, not SAP help, UEFI help. Click on this one. Okay, so API reference. Now look at here, sap.m. We are sap.m. Or let's look at the model. sap.ui. There is something called model. Inside of there is something called JSON model. JSON model. Look at here. This is the class I use for the JSON. Now let's come back to the M. SAP dot M dot. So there is something called a list. Yeah, look at here, list. So inside that there is some method called bind items. Maybe this method is not available here. It's coming from the parent class, list base. So if you look at here, there is bind items. See here, this is the method I'm using. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do, I created a list which is empty right now. Now I would like to fill that list with all the names coming from the JSON. So JSON is having many names. Read each name and put it in the list. So that's nothing but binding again. So list dot bind of what? What I need to bind? What I need to bind? So I need to specify the path. That means where I am getting the values. I'm getting the values from the data2 greater than dot slash, that's the path, comma, there is something called template colon new sap.m dot standard list item of, okay, so title, you can give some title for that. Title is nothing but okay, so if you look at here, what is the title I need to have in the this one? What is the title? It's a name, right? Yeah, this one I want to give as a title. Inside the list I'll be having this one, so therefore title will be coming from the JSON. So that's nothing but data2 greater than name. Now end this one. Okay, put it in the double quote. Now put the semicolon. Now list is ready. What are we trying to do? We are taking the data, or we need to take all the names. We need to take all the names and put it in the list. So if you want to put in the list, you are just using one more internal element called a standard list item. What this will do is that it takes the why I am converting into standard list item. So if you see here in the JSON, everything is a string here. In the JSON, everything is a string here. So therefore, I am converting into list type, list object. That object I am trying to put in the list. See, if you remove, you need to understand the JSON concept. So anyway, I'm going to cover in detail how to construct the JSON, how to create the JSON tomorrow. Okay, fine. Okay, now come back. So if you look at here in the JSON, everything is a key value pairs and everything is a strings. So that's why converting to standard list objects and put it in the list item list. Fine. Now my list is having all the names. Now where to put that names? Where to put that names? Where to put the names?
Page 2.
Second page.
Huh? In the page 2.
Page 2.
Second page.
Page 2 where? Page 2 where?
Content.
Absolutely. Page 2 in the content. So I'm just putting list, that's it. Now let's run the program.
There is a typo, Satya.
Okay, let's see. If any errors comes, then we'll go. Okay, let's see this. Okay, syntax error is there. Look at the line number. Token unexpected syntax semicolon at line number 40. Line number, okay, this is colon. Okay, now let me run. List dot bind items is not a function. The line number 30. Fine. So there is something called list dot bind, bind items items. Okay, this one. Okay, fine. Then path, that's fine. Sorry?
Is bind, right? B-I-N-D. N-D.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So mostly spelling mistakes will be there. That's nothing more than that. So again, bind. Okay. So it's not taken completely. So let me force refresh. Oh, what happened? Okay. So I closed mistakenly. So let me type http:// double hash localhost single application. So we are getting the information. Now let me go here. See, we are getting all the names. That's it. So how many objects are there in the JSON? If you look at here, if you go back to the JSON, how many objects are there? 30. So therefore, so here how many should be there? 30 should be there. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you count, then 30 will be only. And if you click, it will go back. That's all from my side. If you have any questions, now you can ask me. Any questions? So what is the current program is? So current program is something like this. So I have something. So let me convert into mobile. Okay, this is what this one. Print screen. Put it here and take this one. Okay, so go back here. Put it. Then the next one is when I click on the next button, my names are coming out. That's it. If I click on the back, it will go back. And if you want to attach an event for this, you can attach for the list. That's how you do the programming. So these are the names coming from the second JSON. These are the names coming from the second JSON. When I click on this, I'll go to this page. When I click on this, I'll come back to here. So here, what is the note? Button. Let me change it to some other color. Button, image, and text are coming from JSON XXX. I am just putting JSON XXX. That means it is a XXX JSON. And here what is happening? The names are coming from what? Okay, so this list data is coming from JSON that is equal to y/v. So that means there are two different JSONs. That's what the conclusion is. There are two JSONs. That's what the conclusion is. Okay. That's all from my side. Any questions? If you have, ask me. Otherwise, we can continue tomorrow, and we'll see how to create our own JSON. Tomorrow, we'll see how to create our own JSON. Then, how to have a local JSON. Right now, it is what? External JSON. Internal JSON. That means a local JSON. How to create a JSON. How to have our own JSON here. And how to access our own JSON. Okay. Then, so that means what? Today we have. Yesterday we. So this look at here. Okay. So this is what? View. Yesterday and today, from beginning onwards, we are doing with the view. And today we are dealing with the model. So from the model only you will be getting the data. From the model only you will be getting the data. So today you are dealing with the data model. That means and there is something pending called controller. So tomorrow we'll see MVC controller or MVC architecture, MVC design pattern, and so on, so on, so. And tomorrow we see. Right now, we just created this everything in a single page, right? How to split it into different pages? See, whatever you see here, okay, I closed it, right? Whatever you see here is called view. Whatever you see here is called view. Now, in UI5, you can create this view in 4 ways. Right now, view is created with the HTML. You can also create a view with a JSON. You can also create a view with a XML. You can also create a view with a HTML, JSON, XML, and one more is what? JavaScript. That means what? This view, try to listen at least this conclusion so that it will be easy for you tomorrow. So whatever you see here, this is called view. In the UI file, you can create this kind of views in 4 ways. Using HTML code, or using JavaScript code, or using XML code, or using JSON code. So I'll cover one example on each. How to create a view using HTML. Anyway, we have seen today. We'll see how to create the view using JSON. We'll see how to create the view using XML. We'll see how to create the view using JavaScript. Okay. Now coming to the model. Today we are using the model called JSON, right? In the UI file, there are 4 models again. JSON model, XML model, resource model, OData model. And whatever we are doing here, that's called binding, data binding. See, you are having a model is having the data, you are binding that data to your UI element. You are binding that data to your UI element, that's called data binding. Don't assume that, okay, I did not teach data binding, I did not teach data binding. Data binding is already covered. Okay, so if you look at the SAP UI5 architecture, this is what I am trying to say. Okay, process. Yeah, if you look at here, I think the second program or second slide. These are some of the PPTs which I showcased in the SAP Bangalore last 1 year back. Okay, I have presented UI5 in the SAP conference 1 year back. That's fine. Now look at here. So UI5 application will have what? Index.html. That's fine. Now this application contains models. That's what we have seen. This application can contain models. That's what we have seen. This application can contain views. That's what we have seen. And controllers. That means MVC architecture. We'll try to discuss this one more tomorrow, but I'm just giving high level. Now, these models you can create in 4 ways. These views you can create in 4 ways. If you look at here, XML model, JSON model, JavaScript model, and HTML model. Views. XML view, JSON view, JavaScript view, and HTML view. The same way, models also 4 ways. Whatever we use today, that's a JSON model. The same way, XML model, OData model, resource model. Now the biggest question is, models are fine. We can clearly specify when to use resource model, when to use OData model, when to use XML model, when to use JSON model. There is a clear cut idea on that. Because if you have 4 options, when to use what, you need to decide. In case of models, I can clearly specify, okay, if you have a scenario like this, use the resource model. If you have a scenario like this, use the OData model. If you have a scenario like this, use the XML model. If you have a scenario like this, then use JSON model. I can specify. But if someone asks a question, when to use XML model, when to use JavaScript model, when to use JSON model, when to use HTML model, it purely depends upon your coding standard. Please remember this question, most of them are asking in interviews. They will not say anything on the, there is no specific conclusion on that. interviewers are expecting, how are you answering that? If you have 4 flavors, in case of models, yes, there are conclusions. But in case of views, there are no conclusions. If you are expert in XML, you can use XML. If you are expert in JSON, you can use JSON. If you are expert in JavaScript, then use JavaScript. If you are expert in HTML, use HTML. But most of them uses XML view. The reason is, if it is a HTML, people just right click, view source code, everything will come. I mean, these are what my observations. That does not mean that SAP has given these conclusions. SAP never says you use, or I would suggest to use XML. No, SAP is not saying that word. SAP says it purely depends upon the developer coding standards. But my point is, let's use XML or JavaScript. Why XML? The reason is, if at all you are using HTML, you can right click on the page and you can view the source. Everything is viewed. I mean, everything you can see. View source. Everything you can see. If it is XML, at least people cannot understand. It's not that much easy to understand the XML. That is the first thing. Second thing is that, why JavaScript? I said use XML or JavaScript, right? Why JavaScript? JavaScript is more powerful. It brings anything. It is a coding language, right? It is a scripting language. It can bring everything, anything on the fly dynamically. That's more powerful. But the thing is that, so JavaScript view means you need to have a lot of coding standards. That means you need to be expertise in the JavaScript. It's not that much easy to write JavaScript. But so the conclusion I can give something like this. If you have more dynamic content coming, better JavaScript view. Okay, so else XML. Okay, anyway, we'll discuss all these things in detail tomorrow. So, so the conclusion is UI5 follows the MVC architecture. You have M can be created in 4 flavors. V can be created in 4 flavors. Okay, model cannot be created in 4 flavors. Did you type anything? What is that? But XML is heavy to use backend. Why are you thinking about the backend here? We are concerned about the frontend.
Not back and forth over the server from client to server, server to client.
That's what I said. UI5 library is a browser or client-side library. It will not go for the server. If you see the UI5 definition, yesterday's definition, whatever libraries you use, it will be rendered, it will be understood in the client side only. It's a client-side JavaScript library. It's a client-side JavaScript library. If you look at here, I don't know whether we have the definition here or not. If you look at here, client-side UI5 rendering library. So that means whatever you use, those will be in the client side only, do not go to the server.
Yeah, but to communicate to the server, we are not going to use XML, right?
No. How are you communicating? If you look at it, in our case, you already have a JSON which is coming from the server. You are just reading the JSON to get the data. There is no direct communication from UI to backend. That model is over. We are not at all using client-server models. That is a bad programming nowadays.
I mean,
nowadays,
server written as a JSON, and are you saying using JSON directly versus XML? I'm a little bit confused over there.
Okay, fine. Don't confuse. We will discuss tomorrow more.
Okay.
You can just visualize. You can just assume that. Okay, MVC architecture, UI5 follows MVC architecture, And M can be created in 4 ways, or M is having 4 flavors, view is having 4 flavors, model it is a single. So we'll see how to do all these things in next 2 classes. That's it. Okay, thank you. Bye. Any other questions? Don't miss classes. If you miss the classes at least next few days, then it's very difficult. Okay, right, fine. Thank you. Bye.